Hey everybody, and welcome to week 4 of the Open Wheeler series here on LFM. This week we are at Spa, and thankfully it's the 2022 revision of it. And this week I've got a new tool to play with, the Assetto Corsa telemetry interface. So for those of you who are unfamiliar as we watch through all of my qualifying attempts, what this tool does is it converts my inputs and all of the car data from my Assetto Corsa sessions and turns it into Motec files that I can go and read using a proper Motec program as we watch me spin out here. This was not a good qualifying session for me at all. Somehow end up getting P3 out of it. But to get back to the point, basically I just figured that I've been using setup to... I've been using seat feel to adjust my setup as we try and navigate the chaos here on lap 1. But I've been using seat feel to adjust my setups for the longest time. And it's good for like 70% of things, but like if you want to get like that final 3/10 of it, you're gonna need telemetry software. And that is where Acti comes in. And you can see in the top right corner that it is recording this race. So there's that. And so let's just try and make the best of it. As we see them going 3 abreast into Les Combes, but the car on the inside backs out of it, thankfully. But thankfully everybody just goes a single file through the through Les Combes and just makes it out clean. So yeah, just trying to survive lap 1. Because, like, lap 1 at Spa is just treacherous, to say the least. Everybody likes to outbrake themselves. And you're going to see right here, car in front of us, high centers it on the exit curb and just bins it. So, free spot. And now the eyes are forward. And skipping ahead to the end of the lap here, my focus goes to P4 and P3 here. And they try and duke it out on lap 1, which, you know, you do you. But that allows me to catch up to the back of them. And now I am trying to formulate a plan to try and get around the both of them, because I can't overtake them here, because if I do that, they're just gonna overtake me back on the Camel Straight. So, and even though they are braking super early, I just decide to stay behind them. So, and you're gonna see me hesitate on the throttle here, going up Eau Rouge and Radion here. Like, just burping the throttle, and almost getting into the back of him, but thankfully I pull left just as that happens. But unfortunately, the car in front decides to go to his side and give him the slipstream, which ends up being a bad mistake on his part, because he ends up challenging him going into Les Combes on the outside. And space is given here, clean move, but unfortunately, something happens here. I don't know if he brake checked him or if that was a netcode issue, but he just ran to the back of him and I had to check up. And now suddenly, P2 and P1 are they just get a bunch more distance on us. So, cutting ahead here. And I have a bit of an off. Almost binned it, but and that's going to be foreshadowing for later, and I get an off track for my efforts. But cutting ahead to this lap, and this is going to be my first attempt to get around Adrian and Jacques. So he no longer has his draft buddy, so I decide to just take advantage of that and use the slipstream on the Camel Straights to get around him. He tries to pull behind me and get some slipstream of his own to try and challenge me going into Les Combes, which does kind of work. He does warrant leaving space on the inside, but thankfully I was just able to outbrake him and outcorner him going through and just secure 4th place. But he does get back around me. Oh wait, no, sorry. And focus forward to Jacques here. And I'm pretty much second verse, same as the first. And once again, we're kind of even on top speed. kind of just topping out here at like 220 Ks. And this time I was able to pull ahead of him and use the racing line and just get that move done cleanly. And now I'm up to P3, which is pretty comfy until I do this. Coming up to the double left here, I take the exit curve, which unsteadies the car, and the car just did not like that, and I go around. But for what it's worth, I do make a bit of a good recovery from here. Making sure not to rejoin the track in front of anybody. And tires are angry now, so I gotta drive real precariously now for the next lap or two. And it gets to the point where I just don't want to chance anything, so I just let the car in P8 behind, in front. And I do try and look up the inside, but then I choose again because that just didn't seem like a good move. But then he spins out on the exit, and I just get my spot back anyways. And then and coming up to this lap here, we're going to see Kian. He's going to be a very crucial character for both this race and the next, and you're going to see why here. So I just think nothing of him. I just know he's in my slipstream, so I'm cooked. So I may as well just not fight this. Otherwise, we're just going to lose a bunch of time to the cars in front. So going up Eau Rouge and Radion, I think I stay to the inside here and just let him come out the outside.
Everybody running two wings or something like that.
And yeah, I do make a bit of speculation here as to why he has so much more top speed. I mean, Slipstream played a bit into it, but what I found out later is that they were using it looks like they were using lower rear wing and taller 6th gear, which I was only able to figure out the former, but in time for the second race. And smoke up ahead, I slowed down, but nothing happens. So I just end up giving Kian a bunch of time, which is unfortunate. So cutting to the same place, next lap, car does a similar mistake to the car on lap 1, and now I'm up to P6. And skipping ahead to the final sector here, another car goes wide. I'm guessing he just got on the throttle too early or something. And now we're up to P5. But, yeah. I did have two adjustments that I did have in mind that I got just from seat feel. And cutting to the final lap here, third place spins himself out. And podium is on the game, as I so eloquently put it, for the final lap. And now I'm just trying to hunt Kian down, and he is a fast son of a gun. I will tell you that for free. So I do end up getting a bit of time on him going through the hairpin, but he's just able to out-drag me, and the slipstream did not do me any favors, mainly because I was just stalling out in 6th gear. Like, it just wasn't... it was just one click from being long enough to hold pace with him. And you're gonna see that right here. Like, I only top out at like 220, 221, maybe 222, let's see. Nah, not even that. So yeah, I was super slow. But regardless, I'm still pushing because I never know I don't know what's gonna happen, so I just keep pushing and going through the second sector here. And yeah, that's another clue. That right there played another clue, is that it looked like the rear end was just fighting that rotation so much. So that was something to look for looking back on this, and I almost lost the car here again, but thankfully I was able to catch it. Unfortunately, all the progress I made in catching Kian was pretty much undone through that entire corner. And I'm pretty much resigned to my fate at this point, especially considering that I'm fighting the back end of the car to just not snap on me. And I do take this corner very wide. I do touch the sand here. Figure that's pretty much it for me, but then this happens. And yeah, yeah, no
I'll
idea
take
why
that.
that happened. I'm not sure.
Don't think I deserved it, but I'll take
But
it.
regardless, that's a podium. A podium's a podium. And this gave me a bunch of stuff to look back on in the Motec software that you're going to see here. And I was mainly focused on comparing my fastest lap, lap 7 in this case, with the lap I spun out at. And honestly, if there's the biggest challenge, at least for me, is just trying to knowing what to look for. That's pretty much the biggest challenge when it comes to this sort of stuff. Because I had no idea what I was looking for, and to an extent, I still don't. But so I just kind of went into the next race the following day, as you can see by my shirt change, with an adjusted setup. So I lowered the rear wing by 1 click, and I also decided that I should open the diff just at 1 click. The Kunos diff settings are just weird. Like, you can only have them like closed, open, or halfway between. And I had it full closed, so I just decided to go for the halfway option, just to let that rotation happen a little bit more naturally. So, and yeah, just qualifying session the following day, race 2, and this, I still was not on form for this, for any of the qualifying, honestly. Because, yeah, just look at that. I just cut that curb massively, like you're supposed to kind of graze it, and then just kind of gradually power in on 3rd. And then here, I just bleed off way too much speed through the double left here. Like, it's just like a half coast and then power back on. And then I just go full coast and a little bit dab a brake. And try and graze both curbs here, go full power through the left. And going through here, you want to take it in 4th. The aliens I've seen in the practice servers like to do it like to just hold 4th gear through the previous straight and then just chuck it in. But me personally, I like shifting up to 5th and then shifting down to 4th just to get the speed bled off and guarantee my entry speed. And yeah, coming up to the bus stop here, I brake just before the outside curbing starts. Take as much inside curbing on the right as I can, barely hit the paint on the left, and then gradually power out in 2nd. And that lap is good for a 220.7. My best lap was a 19.5, which is around what the aliens are doing in the practice server, but you're never going to get those kinds of conditions in qualifying now, are you? So, good enough for P3, cutting ahead to the race start. And once again, my start here isn't the best, mainly because I just dumped the clutch instead of just gradually releasing it. But it is better than the start of race 1, mainly because I actually hold on to P3 by some miracle. But then we come to Eau Rouge and Radion. Car behind has a whole head of steam, but nowhere to take it. And actually ends up scaring the car on his outside into going off. And yeah, in going up the Camel Straight, he's just got so much more top speed and slipstream. So just decide not to fight it going into Lake Com. But here, he actually ends up outbraking himself, and I'm just able to weave my way back into P3. But both because of all of that fighting, and also because I'm just not good at the start of races, Aline and Kian are able to pull 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds away from me in just the first lap. So, cutting ahead to the second sector of lap 2, I believe, something happens here. Alan and Kian are going side by side, going into Lake Com. And they get through the right-hander correctly, but as they go through the left, I guess Aline catches the curb or something and ends up spinning and hitting Kian off into the gravel. So I decided to take advantage by just making my way past him and going around the outside of Kian, but he just kind of holds it there. And going through this off-camber right-hander, the inside line's favorable, and he does kind of push me off there, but I don't think much of it. And thankfully I was able to hold the position going through the following turn. But I just thought it was, just racing, but I guess Karma didn't see it that way because Kian just goes super, super wide at the double left and ends up slowing up a lot. And honestly, looking back on it, he might have been having, he might have been having pedal trouble or something, because that would explain why he went off during the final lap as well, because, it just sucks when you have pedals that just die on the whim. So, yeah, head of the train, and yeah, I do not like being in this position, because everybody behind me has slipstream, especially Gerard in P2. He's just coming, and there is no stopping him. So after we go through this left-hander, I decide not to fight him. Just let him take the inside. And just try and get around him on the front stretch of the next lap. But then he takes a very, very slow line going through the final bus stop here. And I just can't help but go side by side with him into turn 1, even though I don't want to overtake him. So just kind of, but then again, this kind of does play into the mind games though, because that is forcing him into a suboptimal line through turn 1 by forcing him to just take a shallower line. So I guess that's, I guess I had a big brain play even though I wasn't thinking. But anyways, third verse same as the first, going on to this lap 2. But the thing is, he has a little bit more top speed than me. I think he had a taller 6th gear, and I think that's why. But thankfully I was able to outbrake him on the outside, and he does leave me the space. Clean move, and he files in behind me, and that's P1 secured. So now, my focus turns to P5 and P6, because those guys are fast, and I would not be surprised if they caught me at a half second to full second a lap rate, basically. But even though they did dispatch of the 3 cars that were keeping us apart, the gap itself, the time gap, it never really went down. And you're gonna hear myself chime in here real quick.
Reckon as soon as Aline gets in clean air, I'm cooked.
And yeah, honestly, I was just getting worried all over nothing. Because we were somehow, I was somehow banging out times that were equal to him. He was doing pretty much 2 minute 20, 292 was his fastest lap. I think mine was a 210. But, yeah, pretty much equivalent lap times. The gap never really went below 2 seconds. And somehow, I was able to walk away with the win.
Ain't no way.
Even though I was going up against drivers that were thousands of elo higher than me on LFM.
That's great.
Yeah. Just crazy.
I drove better, but, did I deserve that win? They just kind of got together and I kind of capitalized on it, but, I guess that's racing.
And yeah, I was kind of questioning myself on whether or not I deserved that win, but in the end, a win's a win, and there really isn't much else to say about it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this commentary. If you like this video, do drop a like and a comment, and subscribe for more, because I really do want to try and run out the rest of the season in this car. But yeah, until the next video, y'all take it easy.